one of my favorite things in that goddamn show.
All right, now we're live.
Oh. What do you miss? I miss my big, beautiful tits.
I haven't watched very much of this season at all.
This season was alright.
I think the last one I watched was Spanakopita.
Spanakopita was fucking brilliant.
That's one of my favorite episodes. Spanakopita!
I didn't think I saw that one. I got like halfway through season 4 and I just sort of dropped off.
Oh, season 4 was awesome.
Yeah, season 4 ends really well, if I remember.
Okay, yeah, I gotta finish that.
The season 4 was weird, but then at the ending you're sort of like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
You're still telling a story. I forgot about that.
Yeah, even at like the halfway point, this started to make sense.
Yeah.
If I
one of my favorite Venture Brothers episodes of all time is when Brock's license to kill expires.
Oh God, yeah.
And that bartender is ruthless.
Yes.
What are you gonna do to me, hockey hair?
It's Icarus. It's Led Zepp albums.
Sir, it's time for the rifle range. No, I just need this.
All right, gents, you ready to get start?
Yes.
BF3, yeah, BF4. I'm gonna throw Titanfall in there because I'm sure I played it.
Chances are good.
Titanfall and Fizz.
All right, let's get started in 3, 2, 1. Welcome back to another episode of That Video Game Podcast. I am your host, Boston. Over there is Knobs.
What's up?
And to the left of him is the Hannah.
Hello.
We're having all sorts of internet problems today. So, if this internet sounds weird, or if this episode sounds weird, it's probably just me. All right, let's get started. Without further ado, Mr. Knobs, what are you playing? What have you been playing? Hopefully, you're not playing anything right now.
I am adding up the amount of holes I played in golf this weekend. 58.
58.
58.
Weird number.
That's number one.
Yes.
It was the glow golf, the 6 holes of glow golf with the wobbly pops. That was a good time.
That was an event.
It was a good thing with good old folks up north of Toronto.
Yeah.
It was a fun time. Mercer, PA. Holla. Anyway, Monday night game night, we decided to play Gears of War this week. I am just awful at Gears.
That's no
I
good.
really am. I mean, either that or there are 3 individuals that are significantly better than everyone else is playing.
Maybe.
Which I would like, probably what's true.
Maybe they're practicing on the off time, pre-gaming.
Yeah.
I know I was the last guy standing in a couple of the whatever the wipe rounds were, or whatever the team deathmatch where you have a certain number of spawns and you get to your final spawns. I was the last dude. I don't know how many times. I think I held off. I think 3 attackers once, and then pretty much turned a corner, walked face first into a shotgun.
Oh, nice.
Nice.
Which then proceeded to be the same thing happened again. One round we tied. It was the first time I've ever seen us tie. I was literally, as I'm coming up on Ian behind him, and I was like, oh, I had him so dead. He was backing right up into it.
Ugh.
Right up on it. That was cool. Would have been even cooler if I'd have pulled the trigger. But hence did not quite happen that way. Played some more Titanfall last week. I think we played a round or 2. Ended up playing, the variety pack, doing some last Titan standing or whatever that's called. Capture the flag, real hit or miss with me. Either I'm really good at it or really bad.
I don't think I've ever been good at a capture the flag in any game ever.
The only ones I ever remember was UT because I knew the maps.
I think the only one I was good at was Halo, the one with the skull where you're carrying around the skull. For some reason, I was always really good at that. I was
actually gonna say that.
It's just in a game I don't enjoy playing. Go figure.
Go figure. The one section you enjoy,
yeah,
everyone does.
Yeah, no one plays that.
It's us just being hipsters, I guess. I don't know.
Oh, you guys don't play Skulls?
Oh, no, Skulls.
That's the only one to play.
I don't always play Halo, but when I do, I
Yeah.
play Skull.
Yeah.
Yes. Anyway, I played. Obviously, I've been playing even a crap ton more. I think I'm level 40 in Battlefield now.
Yeah.
Wow.
I have an issue. Well, I started looking at my stats.
Oh,
I'm
no.
100 plus hours now, and
Wow.
I think I've got 2,000 kills. It's somewhere in the ballpark in 2,000. I'm well north of 2,000 now. But I have over 1,000 kills with that one gun that I love.
Oh, man.
And I just started working on carbines and sniper rifles now. I have a problem.
God, this is just so weird that we're talking about this game on the show.
Yeah, regularly.
I love it. It's just so weird.
Yeah.
It's it's like it's something like get home. Oh, I can get a couple rounds of Battlefield, and like, when is this coming through my brain?
What?
After such a horrid experience with 3.
And I love that
I
you're
don't know.
having such a great experience with the one Battlefield game that is still completely broken for like more than half of the people that play it. And you're like, yeah, it's great. It's been super stable.
Oh, very rarely do I have a problem with that.
God, that's so weird. You're the dude who has every single bug in every game you've run into, where it's like, yeah, this bug is really rare, and it's like, yeah, I had it like 4 times.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that seems to be my lot in this, except for, hey, I got the golden ticket for Battlefield apparently.
Yeah.
Which I did buckle down and I bought premium.
Yeah.
So I got some knives and a whole bunch of battle packs and attachments for guns that I really haven't unlocked yet. So
Oh, that's
Very
okay.
cool.
You got something to look forward to.
Yeah.
whatever. But yeah, I haven't played any of the new maps yet because everyone I'm playing with doesn't have them. So
Come on, guys. Get with the program.
it's yeah. Would you spend $50 to go play with knobs?
Yeah.
That
Duh.
really sentence doesn't sound right in any other context in this show.
Oh.
I mean, whatever you're good at, that's your
Yeah.
true calling.
But it's the thing that I find like just absolutely fascinating with Battlefield is how certain people are good with certain things, and unbelievable. And I tell you what, there's nothing more satisfying than bringing down a helicopter.
Oh, I bet.
It's like, because they just rain death. I mean, literally, they're like poison in the map.
Yeah.
Like, they're just, if you get someone that's good at a helicopter, it literally changes the tide until you start knocking them out of the air, and then the whole momentum just shifts. But yeah, it's fun. Like, I'll lock on and let them sit there, and then they'll shoot their flares. I was like, ha ha ha, because the next rocket's gonna hit regardless. And then they watch them spiral down, and then they get back up, and here comes another one. And I'm like, yeah. And now, like,
humans.
I've been rolling around as an engineer lately. Been decked out with my Stinger missile and the anti-tank mine. Oh, I just drop those things around like candy.
Yeah.
Like, hey, this looks like a road. Pop, pop, pop. Like, oh my god, I had a good one. Last week, I baited some guy into there's a heavy artillery rocket truck that literally shakes the whole map, like, every time something, like, gets hit with it, like, anywhere.
Wow.
So when you're sniping and you're trying to line up shot and things, you gotta sit there like, oh, here comes the rain.
Yeah.
Guys, weather the storm for a minute or two. So I saw the dude hopped out of it, started repairing it. I snuck around like Scooby-Doo style, like just stay on the other side of him. I dropped an anti-tank mine in the front of it, went around for him, and dropped one in the back, and then ran in front of him and popped a shot at the cab a couple times. Just watch him go, boom, disabled vehicle. Gets out, heals it. So there's a big crater in front of him. Then he goes and backs up and blows himself up in it. Meanwhile, I'm just sitting there like, just giggling to myself. But it's the like there's moments in that game where you're just like, this game is just really cool.
Yeah.
Like when you'll be running down and all of a sudden you'll have a jet buzz the ground and just veer off, or you'll just see some random jet just come crashing and careening into some areas because they lost control of it. It's really fun, and I know I have to be driving people nuts when I'm getting headshots at 300-400 meters out with the ×4 scope. like I've gotten to the point where I once I unlock the assault scope, that's all I use. Yeah. Because I know each line on that's 100 meters in distance, so I'm not even calibrating anymore. I'm just like, poof. They're like, boom, headshot. I'm like, oh, that sucks, dude. Like, I wish he was in the party just so I could rag on him. It's like, yeah, there's no scope, 300 meters. Suck it, sir.
No big deal.
No big deal. Just hanging out. Just making it rain. But yeah, so I mean, I am really enjoying my time with Battlefield, and like some of those maps are just chaos. Like the Hurt Locker is, well, it's just called Operation Locker. I've been calling it the Hurt Locker because it is literally explosions the entire time. And just watching some team just get pushed all the way back to the deployment, it's like I don't want to do that to anybody. Yeah. And I've had it done to me so many times to the point you're coming out of the deployment, you're just walking into a hail of gunfire.
Just walking into a nightmare.
You're like, all right, well, how do we do this? Because I cannot throw a grenade that far without getting shot. But it's fun. I'm really having a lot of fun with it. And I think lastly I played this week was right after the show I played some more Fez, and yeah, you're right, that 8 block door is really cool.
The one with the rain.
The rain and the neon.
Yeah, I like that area.
Yeah, that area is fantastic.
That area is really cool. And then I just kept pounding my way through, went through the 16 cube door. And now I am lost. Yeah. Like
yes.
I don't like I followed like I kept, oh, there's a door to go through. There's a door, and then I pull up the map. I'm like, what is all of this?
Am I?
Yeah.
Yeah. At that point, it's really it's a lot more important to use the warp gates a lot. Where it's like, okay, I'm gonna go back to this weird spooky cemetery area because I don't have very many nodes on that map over in that area, and I'm just going to poke around for a bit.
Yeah.
That's pretty much what I've been wandering around aimlessly for the last, I don't know, 2-3 hours in it, and I can't seem to find a heading or direction to go.
How many cubes
I know this cube isn't red or gold yet. I know there's something in there for me to find. I just have no idea how to get to it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But that game is a lot of fun just to poke around in that world.
Yeah.
I just flipping it around and just trying different stuff, and then wait, I've been here before. Have I been here before?
Yeah.
Wait.
This looks familiar.
It's like, because I just finally got the 3rd map to that one room that's got all the doors on, like it's like a giant cube that's got like 16 doors on each face.
I'm glad that you've already figured out the puzzle, because I got all 4 pieces and I was like, I don't know where this is.
Well, no, I don't even know what you're talking about, and I'm at like the same point you are, Knobs. So
yep.
The QR code stuff is really cool. Like I pulled it up and I was like, oh cool. I turn, anti-cube, sweet.
Yeah.
Nice.
But no, like I'm trying to find that room again, and I cannot find my way back there. Like I have all the pieces of the map, the know which doors to go through, and I'm just it's this way, but I don't know where the door is that goes that way deep into the map to go down, to go up, over. Come on.
To make it easier on yourself, just teleport to the graveyard.
The graveyard?
It's like right next to the warp gate.
Nice.
Oh, it's that door?
Yep.
Oh, I even know which one you're talking about.
Yeah, see, that's the problem where you're like, oh, now I gotta go.
Hold on.
Pulling out the Vita, just like, all right,
Second.
I'll be with you in a minute.
Yeah. But I am really, really enjoying that game a lot. It's a great game just to sit around and throw a movie on and poke around.
Just puzzle it out.
It really is. Yeah. I'm at like I said, I'm at like the exact same spot you are, Knobs. It's very. I got through the 16 cube door, and the way we've been talking about it, I've sort of been built up for me. It's like you get through that 16 cube door, and something huge happens. Yeah. I was like, oh, there's a bunch of dudes. I gotta talk to all of them. What are they saying?
Yeah, that was my bad last week. I meant the 32 cube door.
All right. Yeah. I was
Yeah,
sort of like,
well, I found the 32 cube door, and I'm like, oh, wait. I got 18, 19?
Yeah.
Oh no,
I
now
got
I
a
gotta
ways
start
to go.
hunting this stuff down because
yeah.
it was nice in the beginning because you can just, as you're going, all right, this cube here, I'll go find it.
Yeah.
Whatever.
Sure. There's a cube at the top of the screen. All right.
Yeah, a whole cube. Just go get it.
Yeah.
Yep. Yeah, then it's just like now I'm just trying to clear out areas, and I'm like, I can't. Am I supposed to lower the water at some point? I don't get this. Like,
Yeah.
Oh man, it's so good. I
so we're working our way.
Yeah, the Hannah and I had a conversation before we started about some of the stuff that he's discovering that Knobs, it sounds like you haven't found yet, and it's just, I'm so excited to see you guys start questioning the world, where you're sort of like, what is all this stuff? I keep seeing all these. What's going on here? I don't.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I don't understand this.
Well, I've noticed, like, I've been finding these little doors that have 2 cubes on them, but they're not opening right now, and it's driving me crazy.
Oh, so that's actually nothing serious. It's just a shortcut. So when you find the other one, you'll teleport between the two of them when you try to open them. So
it's pretty cool.
You haven't found it in the other area.
Yeah, I noticed that myself. I was like, ooh, these little 2 cube doors. I bet these are like the secrets in all these areas. And I'd open up the map and be like, wait, there's no secret in this area. Huh? And I found one that finally lit up, and I was like, oh, I can go through. And it just took me somewhere I didn't want to be.
Yeah, it takes you out of really weird places where you're like, oh, this is a room with a bunch of black holes in it in like the 16 cube village. Why would I want to be here?
Yeah.
Gotta go.
Yeah, it's just everything about that game is just really neat.
Yeah.
Like, I love the black hole effects, and I mean, is there any other voxel styles games out there at all? Or is this the only one that does it right?
I mean, Minecraft, but that's
Yeah.
I mean those are kind of the two big ones. But Minecraft is doing something so different with voxels that it's kind of not the same game.
What was that PS3 game that was voxel based? That was sort of Zelda-ish.
Oh yeah, God, I loved that game.
Yeah.
Oh, 3 Dot Hero.
3D Dot Heroes.
Yeah, that was another voxel. Boy, that game was good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do I own that? I probably
Surprise
do.
me. That's one I'm surprised we haven't seen on the Instant Game Collection, actually.
Yeah.
For PlayStation Plus.
I think that'd be fun to play on the Vita.
Oh
yeah. Oh, that'd be good.
Yeah, if only
PlayStation Now.
If only Dark Souls hadn't gotten so big, maybe we would have gotten a sequel to that.
Yeah, right.
Maybe. But that's pretty much it for me.
All right, Hannah, what about you?
I played some weird stuff this week, man. So I played a bunch more Fez, as I said. I got past that 16 cube door, and I'm now starting to get to the point where I'm like, okay, I have nowhere else to go. So I need to start figuring out all like the little background puzzles in this game. Because if you look at the walls and you look in some of the rooms, there's clearly something going on that I don't understand yet.
Yeah, there is.
And I'm sort of like, I look at it for about 5 minutes, and I'm like, I want to do something. I don't want to. That's what I do all day at work. So I get like frustrated. It's like I look at weird symbols all day at work. I don't want to. No, all right, we're gonna figure this out later.
Yeah.
On a weekend when I have time, and this was not one of those weekends, unfortunately. So
yeah, just pull out the notebook and start puzzling.
Yeah.
That was the part where I felt when I played it originally, where Fez really turned around for me, because before then, it was just kind of like a platformer. It was great, and the puzzles where you're turning stuff are cool. It's like, okay, well, I'm climbing up this wall, and then I turn, and then I can climb up this other... Okay, so it's like a shortcut between, all right, 3D space, cool. But then at that point, it's like, wait, there are all these symbols. What does this all mean? And it's sort of like, okay, all right. Taking notes of all these places you're going. Knobs already found out one of the tougher puzzles in the game.
Yeah, I got to figure out some of them. I'm really excited to sort of sit down with a little notepad, or like even my phone in one hand and the Vita in the other, you know. So I won't dwell too much on that, because I collected more cubes. I didn't do a whole lot in the game.
Yeah, I feel like you're getting to the point where Fez really clicked with me because it reminded me of being a kid and sort of being like, all right, I have this puzzle game on the PC.
Yeah.
Now I have to break out my notebook to write down all this stuff so I can figure it out.
Yeah, it'll probably be like when I got really heavy into the Lucas Arts back catalog of adventure games, when I was sitting there with like full throttle and trying to figure out what went where.
Yeah, it's like, all right, someone's telling me this thing that I have to go kick this wall 2 hours later. All right, let me go write this down.
Yeah, yeah. So me and the wife played some games on Monday night because for the last several years we sort of had our Monday nights planned out. We would come home, we would watch How I Met Your Mother, and that was our show. We would watch it, and that would be our night. And now it's gone, and we're like, oh god, we have to fill the hole. We have to fill that void. So we played some Ticket to Ride on Xbox Live Arcade, which is always fun, even though she tends to win those a lot. I'm a big fan of that game just because it's not overly strategic, it's not underly strategic, it's just like this right amount of, all right, we're going to play this game, it's going to be fun, and it's actually fun with two people.
Yeah.
The only complaint I really have about it is the fact that sometimes it feels like screwed on some of the colors you're picking up. You'll have 5 out of 6 that you need for one track, and then suddenly it'll be like, oh yeah, there's just no more of that color in the deck, sorry. Oh yeah, and all the wilds are going to go away too, so you won't even be able to pick up those. And the best was, so there's a rule in the game. So for people who haven't played it, it's a board game where you have to connect different cities via trains. And you can lay these trains down using cards that you pick up every turn. So at the top of the board, there's the stack of cards, and you can just draw blindly off the stack of cards, or there's 5 face-up cards that you can pick up. Anytime there are 3 wild cards in the stack of face-up cards, it resets that pile. And we had it, you'll draw a card and you get your 3rd wild on there, and it'll take it out and it'll deal out 5 new cards from the top of the deck. Well, it did that weird chain of like, all right, we got 3 wilds and we're going to deal a new set, and oh look, there was 3 wilds in there, so we're going to have to deal another new set.
Oh, weird.
Which is always just like, oh cool, there's the colors I need, and they're gonna go away. So that's always a blast. I think we played best 2 out of 3, but it was really just her beating me 3 times.
Yeah.
And then we played some Super Puzzle Fighter, some Super Puzzle Fighter 2, which is a game I'm okay at. I'm not the best at it, but I'm certainly not the worst.
That's about where I am, but I really love that game, and I'm not good at it.
Yeah, that's sort of where it lives for me. Is the man? I wish I was better at this game, but I'm totally not.
But I'm gonna keep playing.
Yeah, and that took a little while. Yeah, I just get back in the groove almost immediately with that game, but she hasn't played it in forever, so it took a few games. But then suddenly it was like, oh, I won like 3 in a row, and then I lost like 5 in a row. So. Just good games to fill a night in,
Yeah.
I picked up my DS to go start playing 999 again.
Right.
And another game I've had laying around forever, because I got rid of my DS, but I didn't get rid of all the games. So I've had a few games just sort of sitting that I like kind of held on to, because you don't want to get rid of them. I had Professor Layton. So I popped that back in for the first time since I believe I picked it up when it came out in, what was that, like 07?
Yeah, it's pretty old, yeah.
Yeah. Still really fun.
Yeah.
And I've forgotten all the answers to the puzzles, so like it's new again.
Yeah.
And just that story is so weird. Like I just don't understand the whole Professor Layton and Luke thing. It's a little odd.
Yeah.
It's sort of like, oh, you're just a famous. It's sort of Sherlock Holmes and Watson if Sherlock Holmes just went around solving innocuous puzzles.
Yeah.
And Watson
it's
was
the Sherlock Holmes of math.
Yeah. Oh God, that's actually really true. But just like some of the puzzles, when it brings up like it'll bring up like basic geometry stuff that I've forgotten over the years, and I'll just go, oh yeah, and just feel like a genius for figuring it out. But I'm like, really, wouldn't even be on the SAT because it's so simple.
Yeah, like an 8th grader would be like, oh yeah, that thing.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, no, clearly that line's the same length as that line and that line.
Yeah, because of math.
Because A, B,
Come
and
on,
C. Hooray!
That's Algebra 1, Watson.
Yeah.
For sure. For sure. So I played a whole bunch of that, and I'm at like chapter 2, the point where you have to go hunt down the cat for the stupid lady because it's a Japanese game, and of course you have to hunt down a cat for a lady who's unreasonable about her cat running away. Anyway, the puzzles are great, the story's silly. It's just a great DS game, and it's sort of like it's sort of taking me back. Awesome. I love this system.
Yeah.
And I know why I really loved this system back when I first bought it.
It was really good.
It is. It's I'm looking forward to playing a little bit more of it, just sort of as a time killer, just sort of like I need like 10 minutes and some time to kill for a puzzle.
I
think my favorite
matchsticks.
Yeah. Oh, that was the best. Where you just sit there and look at. You don't even touch it for like 10 minutes. You just look at it and go, oh, and just solve it in 2 seconds. Yeah. But yeah. So yesterday I decided to play a little Metal Gear Solid 5 Ground Zeroes, and kind of click back into that with some of the missions that I unlocked by beating it the first time.
Yeah.
And that game's real different when you're playing some of the other missions. So the 2 missions I did play were, I can't remember if they had like specific names or anything, but the first one was I had to eliminate 2 specific targets and then exit the mission area through any means necessary. So this got really annoying the first time I played through it, or the first time I attempted to play through it, because it sort of highlights 2 areas where those characters are going to be patrolling, and I started to head for one. But so the big thing with these different missions is they all take place during different times of the day, and this one literally just takes place in broad daylight.
Oh, weird.
Which is not great for stealth.
Yeah, to say the least.
So I would slowly make my way towards this area where this guy's supposed to be, and Kaz would come on over the radio and be like, he's moving. Yeah, of course I took too long getting there. It's broad daylight, and I'm wearing black in like this very not, dark or any sort of, there's no camouflage happening.
Yeah.
With what
you're like Sam
wearing
Fisher going out to lunch at Subway.
Yeah, exactly. Hey, who's that over there? 6 foot sub.
Yeah. What do you mean the $5 footlongs aren't happening anymore?
I don't want me.
Just give me a BFT.
I'm coming back. They put mayonnaise on it.
Put it on the, what is it, the 3rd echelon, 5th echelon? Some sort of echelon.
Yeah, the 3rd echelon will take care of it.
No banana peppers.
That's who he's going out to lunch with.
Yeah. Of course it
Sam
is.
Fish. It's Michael Ironside and Arnold going out. Remember Dodorica.
I'd watch that.
Yeah, I would.
That's yeah. So
Ironside and Schwarzenegger do lunch.
Yeah.
So I'm going out to lunch at Steak, and the best part about this game, as I've learned, is the fact that it doesn't really hand you anything. You have to mark the enemies, you have to keep track of where they are, and you have to make sure you mark every enemy in an area, because some dude's going to sneak up on you just doing his patrol and be like, what are you doing? And you'll get that like 3 seconds you get with the reflex.
Yeah. And
and if you miss, it's all over.
Yeah.
I discovered that in this particular mission, the nukes start to flee the area, and if they get out of the area, it's mission over. So I managed to get one of them down and then die, but luckily it started me back at the checkpoint after I'd killed the guy, so I just sort of went with it, and all the alarms turned off, and I restarted at the checkpoint, and the dude was still dead, and I was like, okay, I'm gonna go after number 2. Could not find him. So I decided to, all right, well, the 4 or 5 times I've failed this mission, the guy seems to go for the Jeep that's in this particular area, so I'm just going to set off the alarms, and I'm going to camp out this Jeep.
Oh, nice.
And it worked.
Hey.
So I was just like, okay, how can I set off the alarms? Oh, I'll just shoot that guy over there. Okay, cool. Here he comes. Let's gun him down. And I just drove my way out of the area. It was actually pretty fun to sort of. It was playing Metal Gear in a very different way for me. So you sort of have to wrap your head around each mission individually. The next mission I played was the goal of it was to completely blow the anti-aircraft guns off the map. And I think you only had to do 3. But if you did it right, you could set they start you off with 5 C4 charges, and you could set C4 on each one, and then just detonate it all in a row, and take all of them out at once, which is sort of what I did. This particular playthrough went very strangely. So you have about, I say 2 minutes at the beginning, and you can take out one of these guns really quickly. But no matter what you do, after about 2.5 minutes or so, the whole base goes on alert for the rest of the mission, and it never goes away. And this is the daytime for this is either right as the sun is coming up or right as the sun is setting. I can't quite tell, but it's later in the evening, and it's not like noonday sun like the previous one was. So
meanwhile.
Yeah, so I get a C4 charge on one of them, on one of the anti-aircraft guns, and I slowly make my way towards another after taking out a couple of guards because they, were standing around the corner, and I didn't exactly peek so much as I did just sort of jog around the corner. Luckily, you have that reflex where you can the reflex.
Like, never mind.
Yeah, like it's like the bullet time, and I was close to them where it wasn't like I had to line up a shot. I could literally just grab them. So that paid off really well. And so I get to the second one, and I managed to raise it to like full alert level. They're not just at like caution. They're like, oh, there he is. Let's go get him. And unfortunately, one of the guys nearest to me was carrying a rocket launcher.
Oh.
And I was about to set the C4 on the anti-aircraft gun, and he nailed me with it. I didn't die, but it did destroy the anti-aircraft gun.
Interesting.
So I got my butt out of there, hid, put C4 on one last one, because I was like, yeah, I want to destroy all of them, but I don't have the patience or time for this, so I'm just going to get the last 2. I blow those up, and then I'm informed that there's a large armored vehicle to take care of before I can be extracted by chopper. So I now have to basically reenact the MGS-1 fight against a tank.
Oh.
And chuck grenades at this thing and disable the wheels and get under it. And I think I finally got it because I think I had something like 6 or 5 grenades. I got all the grenades, all good shots, and it wasn't quite destroyed. But I still had 3 C4 charges left. So I just crawled under the thing, set them, ran away, and detonated all of them.
Jeez.
And then proceeded to the extraction point. It was a lot of fun. It was actually, I kind of wish I had streamed both of these playthroughs because they were really, let's just say I play Metal Gear in a very unorthodox fashion, which is to say very poorly.
Yeah.
But it was a lot of fun.
More poorly than me.
Yeah. No, I had a ton of fun playing it. I'm glad I hopped back in. And even finishing those 2 missions, I think I got a C rank on the first and a B rank on the second. Somehow I got a B rank on that mission. I'm just as confused as you. And it was really weird because now I thought it would like bump me up to like 30% completion. I'm at like 14% completion.
Yeah. On
this game. There's a lot more game here than I thought.
Well, and actually, they just released a patch that puts in the other platforms exclusive mission.
I saw that, and I don't even think I've unlocked either one of those.
No, I think they're a little bit later.
through the rest of these, because I'm having a ton of fun with it. And as long as I go in with the mindset of like, okay, make sure you mark all the guys. Like, that's the one thing you have to keep in mind with this game. Mark as many of the guards and enemies as you possibly can, as quickly as you can. And there's actually a challenge for each level or each mission where your goal is to like mark all the enemies as quickly as possible. And you can get some of them marked for you by sort of getting one of the guards and giving them the you know, like holding the knife up and be like, oh,
the
talk.
Chokey Roberts.
The Chokey Roberts, yeah, that's what it's called. You give him the old Chokey Roberts, and he'll sort of talk. He'll be more like,
yeah.
And I've had it where it'll mark like 5 or 6 guys at a pop.
Oh.
So, yeah, it was really nice. I don't think I've ever marked on a map except for one of the playthroughs I did of the like main story mission. But yeah, played a bunch of that yesterday, and actually discovered something fun. So I tried to, just for fun, I wanted to play, you know, my wife's napping, and I don't want to be blaring the TV, but I want to be able to hear things really well, because it's MGS. So I was like, okay, let's see if my Bluetooth headphones will hook up to the PS4. They wouldn't. It was like, oh, no profile found. But I have this cool little adapter. It's a Bluetooth adapter that you can plug into any headphone jack, and it will broadcast the audio from it over Bluetooth.
Oh.
So I plugged that bad boy into the PS4 controller, synced it to my headphones, and it was perfect.
Oh, man.
It was fantastic. And all you have to do is divert all audio to the headphone. Because you can sort of hear directionally where, like, oh, is that Jeep coming from that way?
Yeah.
And I don't have like a full surround sound system, so I'm not going to necessarily get that from listening to it out loud. And you can hear certain things a little more clearly when you're just wearing headphones. And I think that might be how I play through the rest of these missions too, because I think it helped me a little bit.
Yeah.
But man, that game is dense and fun. So the last game I played this week was, of course, the current TVGP Game Club game, The Witcher. And I decided...
still playing it?
I'm still playing it because it has gotten significantly better after I realized that I just need to roll with the punches and not worry about what happens.
Just let it happen.
Just let it happen.
Just let Geralt happen.
Just let Geralt happen.
Yeah.
So I decided for the first time ever to stream some gameplay, and the other JZ, who I think is currently in chat, was watching me play and sort of helping me out with like audio issues and stuff. So thumbs up to him. I'm sure I still had plenty of audio issues, but it was a lot of fun. I had there was several moments where JZ pointed out that as I'm running through the town, I did install the mod that allows me to travel or run 24% faster than normal, which is
24%.
It's all really weird percentages, and I'm sure there's a reason. I just didn't look into it.
38.5, you know, thereabouts.
Like all sorts of weird stuff. But I think my
that
favorite thing...
0.5 is uncontrollable.
Oof, you can't go to 39. It's just gets hot.
And the best part was, and as Jay-Z just said in chat, I was the worst person ever. When Geralt, like you know, most games when you're moving through a crowd, you'll just sort of like move and like sort of shove a person a little bit, maybe give them like a nice, you know, shove. I can't count the number of times I like shoved someone over, or like knocked an old lady off a bridge, or knocked a dude off of the pier into the water, and it was comical.
Out of my way, peasants.
Yeah, pretty much just like, I move you out of my way. But the best part was I got to a village at one point near the end of the stream, where you could clearly tell that my speed up mod was affecting the NPCs, because there were children, I assume meant to be running around like crazy in the original version of the game, you know, unmodded, but they were running like Jesse Owens in the Olympics.
Just lightning speed.
All through that. Just lightning speed, and just and there's so many comical moments that happen in this game. Like I was doing a quest and stopped to talk to a character, and you see a monster just walk behind him and disappear off screen.
See you guys later.
and then it switches back to Geralt, and then it switches back to him, and you see the monster come back the other way.
It's like this. It's like a Scooby-Doo episode, like we were talking about.
Yeah,
before.
I just want to see it come through the screen.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was sort of waiting for that to happen. I think one of my favorite moments was the village I was in with the Jay-Z said those children could have kicked you into space. They
I would
were
play
going
that game.
crazy. There's a brickmaker in this village because it's a village of people that take clay from the pits nearby, shape it and bake it and make bricks for the nearby village or the nearby city. And there's a guy who
I helped.
yeah, there's a character that's referred to as the old brickmaker, and you talk to him, and he has this very interesting stutter, and it is revealed throughout the conversation that when he was a boy, he had a brick dropped on his head.
Oh.
And it was kind of uncomfortable. It's really crazy. And it was just like, so I'm a little dumb because of the brick that got dropped on my head. And then it sounds like two different voice actors doing it, because you go from this weird stutter tick that he has to just him talking like an Englishman with a really thick accent.
I can't ever play this game. I'm sorry,
insane.
CD Projekt Red. I can't do this.
The game is just. I'm loving it because it is absolutely psychotic, and I'm glad I've decided I'm just going to critical path this game.
Yeah.
I'm not going to bother with side quests because there's so many of them, and I'm sure I'll finish some of them just incidentally, but you could spend 80, 90 hours just doing side quests in this game. I'm convinced of it. Because there is just an absolute, you look at you can sort your quest journal by 3 different things. You can get all quests, story quests, and side quests, and the side quest list is literally 3 times long. There's 15 of them, and I've got 3, 4, or 5 main story quests at any given time.
Jeez.
But it is, the combat's still fun. It's a little weird. It was a little weird when I was streaming. I think there was some issues with the video because I've discovered that the combat is very much tied to your frame rate. Because I did at one point try to lock the frame rate down using an external tool that forced VSync on the application, and it really messed with the timing of the combat. So I think that's just an inherent issue with the game. So, yeah, just getting into combat and I'm playing it on easy, so I don't really get that varied in my combat. I'll switch styles depending on how many enemies I'm fighting, and obviously some enemies you can't hit with certain styles. You're not going to hit a fast enemy with the strong style, they're just going to dodge it. You're not going to do enough damage to a strong enemy with the fast style because it's meant for speed. It's just, this game is... Story-wise, it's great because you have those moments, and they happen just often enough to where it's oh, so I made a decision, and it wasn't really so much a decision as it was just a thing that happened that had 2 different outcomes, and this is going to come back and change the way this game moves. And it's not oh, this is really good, this is really bad. It just sort of goes, and it doesn't feel like a morality system. It feels like a sort of a true choice system. Rather than being oh, you did the good and right thing here, here's a bonus, and oh, you did the evil thing. It's more oh, you did this thing, and you teamed up with this guy, so he's gonna put in a good word for you with these guards, so you can get through the gate a little quicker.
And I made a decision to kick his grandma off a well, and I grew horns.
Yeah, for some reason he's really mad now.
Yeah, this isn't Fable.
Yeah.
And basically what it comes down to is Geralt's kind of a jerk. The way I play him, he just sort of runs around and knocks people off bridges and has a good time with it. But yeah, The Witcher is insane, without question. This game is absolutely psychotic, and it's equal parts the story, equal parts the translation. And just, it's absolute madness, a little bit of it, because it's really fun. But if you don't want to play it, I'm going to try and stream as much of it as I can.
Oh, nice.
So check it out. It's twitch.tv/the Hannah.
There you go.
Of Doom.
But that, no, just the Hannah. No. But yeah, that's all I've been playing this week.
All that I have played this week is Diablo 3. Didn't have a lot of time for games this week, but trying to play more Diablo 3. I'm having so much fun going through. I started a wizard, and I'm playing a little bit of that class, which is kind of fun. But I've been primarily. What's that?
You're a wizard, Boston.
I am. Bless you.
He's a wizard.
I've been primarily spending a lot of time playing adventure mode, just going through doing the bounties and doing the rifts and stuff. And that I think the more that I play that, I think its real strong point continues to be adding variety to Diablo. Back when Diablo 2 was new, I know a lot of people were just doing gear runs, and that never really appealed to me because it's you're playing through the same game. And to be fair, adventure mode you're playing through the same game, but it's varied enough in the challenges that you're doing that I feel like it's still throwing enough variety in there that it's not continually going through, I'm going to start on Act 2 and just do all of Act 2. So I think for me that as I'm looking to gear up my Demon Hunter, I think that's been the game's real strong point for me. But that's all I've been playing. And thankfully we have a lot of news stories because we're done with the first segment. Let's take a break. Bye.
Cool. Oh,
man.
I will be right back. I need a drink.
Yeah, we gotta figure out what your stuttering video issue is. It's probably just
is it still happening?
Yeah, it was pretty bad.
Oh, crap. All right.
Stupid Skype.
I don't have anything. Like, I'm literally at Skype, Avast, Bluetooth, and Catalyst Control Center. That's like all I have running right now.
Weird.
Yeah.
All right, I'm gonna take a quick break. I'll be right back.
Yeah, same here. BRB.
Shut up. You suck. Oh, hi. Play music. What do I have on here? I don't know. My library. jealous, bitch.
On that long and lonesome highway, be ready for love and every fork in the road. And my baby, it's a sweet tart, yeah. So bitter to the taste, it's so heavy on the heart. So I lift up my hands. Light of the gospel, sex and drugs and rock and roll. Party all day, party all night. Sex and drugs and rock and roll.
That's okay.
You are playing that show party, yeah. Oh yeah, give it to me one more time. Oh yeah. Hello, brethren. Give me your hand. Yeah. Yeah. Oh, y'all beautiful. Oh, yeah. Hello. Hello, yeah. Hi. You're beautiful. Yeah. Oh, yeah. It seems that day that the music died. Yeah. I drove my Chevy to the ocean, but the ocean was dry. In my baby, it's a sweetheart, yeah. So bitter to the taste, it's so heavy on the heart. So I lift up my hands, light up the sky.
I'm not entirely sure what I just came back to.
Oh, I'm just keeping myself entertained.
Hi everyone in chat. Nice to see you all.
Because you know that's what I'm good at. Just...
Okay.
I should have stayed in college. Another town, dead and gone. I should have stayed in college. Another town, dead and gone. I should have stayed in college. Another town, dead and gone.
What am I listening to?
You know,
Green jelly.
Oh, yeah, okay.
You know, bye bye, baby. It's a sweetheart. Yeah.
all right. Let's get this show on the road.
Yep.
It's road show. Let the road show. Ah!
What is happening?
He's just winding his dogs back up again.
Oh, he's sitting there staring at me.
Roadhouse.
Okay. Roadhouse. All right. You ready?
Yup.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Ready? In 3, 2, 1. Welcome back, everybody. We got releases this week, the day after Star Wars Day, May 5th of 2014. God of War collection for the PlayStation Vita.
It's God of War 1 and 2. If you haven't played those are the best ones. So, and the first PSP one is really good, but I don't know how you can play that.
Yeah. It's kind of tough. I even bought the other collections on the Vita, I think.
It might
Did
be. You might just be
I
able
bought
to
it.
play it straight on the Vita. I don't know.
Well, no, I bought them on the PlayStation 3.
Oh,
Whatever. I
that's
still haven't finished them.
right. Weird.
Well, the second and third one I haven't finished. Whatever.
Yeah.
MLB 14, the show for the PlayStation 4.
That seemed like a good game from reviews of the other versions, so
Yeah.
go
It's
get
show.
it, I guess.
Stick It to the Man for the PlayStation 4.
I'm actually really curious to play that. It seemed interesting when it came out on the PS3, and I never got a chance to play it. So, fingers crossed.
Sports Friends for the PlayStation 3 and PS4.
So, Sports Friends, for anybody that doesn't know about it, it's Bari Bari Ball, Johann Sebastian Joust, all those games together. So, Joust is finally coming out on a console in general. So, I'm very curious to see how people are going to play that game, because that requires a lot of move controllers. So
yes, it does. Huzzah!
There's a bunch of other. There's 3 other couch co-op games on there. I don't remember the other 2. Faust, I think, is the other one.
Tesla Effect, a Tex Murphy adventure. This was a Kickstarter game. That was for the PC, by the way.
Yeah, I think it was supposed to release a couple weeks ago, I think, but now it's maybe out now, maybe? I don't know.
Maybe.
Could be.
Maybe? Possibly.
Yeah.
And rounding out this leap for current year, Borderlands 2 Vita bundle comes to the Vita, I'm guessing.
Yeah. it's a Vita and a copy of Borderlands 2 with it. Borderlands 2 standalone comes out next week.
Okay.
Cool.
So,
is it me, or is nothing come out for the Xbox One in the last month?
yeah.
Yeah.
Amazing Spider-Man 2.
That's not just you. That doesn't count.
I'm really happy that I've been enjoying Battlefield then.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because I would be very angry if there was really nothing I wanted to play that much. U.S. release for the week of May 5th, 2004. Van Helsing for the Xbox, PlayStation 2, and GBA.
I don't remember anything about that game. I love the movie, but
I do love the movie too.
Never heard anything about that game.
I will defend that game forever, or that movie forever.
Yeah, it's really great.
I'll have to watch it.
Rally Sport Challenge for the Xbox.
I remember a lot of people really loving that series.
Yeah, I do too.
Never really played any of it.
I love in 2004 more games came out for the Xbox than the one.
Wah, wah.
Siphon Filter, the Omega Strain for the PlayStation 2.
That's another series that I'm surprised that nobody has brought back yet. At least in like a collection thing.
There was something. There was some game announced, or some like trade, or someone like put a patent or trademark on something that sounded like it could be potentially related to Siphon Filter recently. I can't remember what it was though.
I loved Siphon Filter's marketing. Like, their TV campaign was amazing back in the early aughts.
Yeah, man, those PS1 commercials, like that big dumb Ratchet and Clank Ratchet suit ones. Same with the Crash ones.
Yeah, those were awesome.
I miss those Ratchet and Clank commercials. The dudes screwing around the backyard with the guns.
Yeah, man, those were really good.
Yeah.
Oh man. All right.
My favorite was always the Crash Bandicoot ones, though, where dudes are just standing around in the suit.
Yeah.
The dude, you cannot underestimate the dude in the suit. Like that is just real. That's just. There's no time where that would work now if the Crash game never even came out.
Oh, totally.
Yeah.
Just have him sitting in a casino, just.
Yeah.
With that.
All right.
I need to find that suit now.
We have a metric ton of news stories here, so let's get started. The 20-year run of Neversoft, the team that brought us a couple of good Tony Hawk games, is going to be ending with a merger with Infinity Ward. So Neversoft, if you remember, because I didn't, did a bunch of work for the last Call of Duty game.
Really?
Okay.
They actually were lead developer on Ghosts for a lot of stuff. So apparently they did well enough, and Infinity Ward said in a statement that they worked really well, Neversoft and Infinity Ward worked really well together. So they're going to smush them together. And Neversoft is gone pretty soon.
That's... wow.
Yeah, that's
That's,
not entirely surprising,
No, not at all.
but kind of a bummer that we won't see that really weird
Eyeball?
intro movie with the eyeball that gets speared anymore.
You know what? They did make a really good Spider-Man game too in their canon of work.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that one.
There was
that the PS1
there was
one?
the PS1, 2, or PS1, Dreamcast, and Xbox One.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like
yeah,
it
I
was
remember that.
fantastic
It was. That was really good.
Yeah, that's
until
kind of-
B-Nox dethroned them.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. Ooh.
Yeah, that's kind of a bummer that they're closing, but when you're called up to bat to make Call of Duty games,
You don't say no.
you probably
Yeah.
can't say no. You know,
Yeah.
like that's
Guys
some-
like your jobs. Come on,
Yeah.
step up to the bigs.
let's make some more
Yeah.
shooters here.
Calling the lefty.
You should probably watch the live stream, listeners at home.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
Ah.
Next news story related: Call of Duty Advanced Warfare was leaked and then teased and then announced pretty much in the span of about 3 days. It's this one's developed by Sledgehammer and heavily focuses Kevin Spacey.
Okay.
Did a really good digital version of him.
Yeah.
And other than that, I will be honest with you, dear listeners. I don't really know the difference between any of these games. So this one has Kevin Spacey, and
Hooray!
that's it. And it's called Advanced Warfare, which
Yeah,
isn't
this
confusing at all to the other titles.
No, but out of all of them, might be the only one I've even had an interest in playing in the last, I don't know, since the first Modern Warfare.
Is it because of Mr. Spacey?
No, it's because of mech suits, dude.
Yeah, that's true. But you already have a game that has mech suits in it.
I know. Everything should have mechs in it. I'm sorry.
It's true.
Mechs equals better game.
There you go.
Yeah.
Until we're sick of mechs in about 3 years, where it's like, oh, it's
It'll be like
another mech
zombies.
game. Wow. Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. Yeah, stop me if you've heard this one before. It's a mech roguelike.
Wait, but your pilot's a zombie.
Yeah. Alright, I'm going to skip over the next one because that one's not interesting. Alright, Blizzard releases 3 of their older games through Battle.net. They released Lost Vikings, Rock and Roll Racing, and Blackthorn available for Windows or OS X. Just go to Battle.net and download them. There's nothing else you need to do. If you haven't played Rock and Roll Racing before, you really should spend about half an hour experiencing that game, because it is really, really weird. And they, especially the Genesis version, had really great covers of rock songs that you know.
Nice.
And it's actually pretty fun to play once you get the controls down. I might go play the Lost Vikings, because I never finished that game originally.
I don't know anybody that ever really finished it.
Yeah, I
But
think
it's
pretty
still
long.
so much fun. The game's
Well,
amazing.
I think you're right with Black Throne, and then definitely playing Full Throttle. Oh,
What?
Huh?
did
Rock
I?
and Roll Racing?
No, I thought you said Full Throttle and whatchamacallit.
No, Full Throttle was LucasArts.
You're right. I'm an idiot.
Yeah, just
Yeah.
Blackthorn,
I said that earlier.
Lost Vikings, and then Rock and Roll Racing.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah,
sure.
Cool. But yeah, go play Full Throttle. Why not?
yeah. Full Throttle is also really good. If you like rock,
Yeah.
Yeah.
you like
Sure.
LucasArts. Still looks really good.
Mm-hmm.
Next story we have up here. Some people were asking Marvel what happened to the Avengers game that was supposed to come out around the movie, and they say, yeah, that wasn't really good. But also, you know, they're saying that we're kind of waiting to find the right partner for Marvel games. They came out and said, you know, let's be honest, the Sega ones weren't good. And they said,
They were passable.
Yeah, that's an understatement.
Yeah. They said, quote, it has to hit our 3 pillars: fun and engaging gameplay, true to the characters, and compelling story. Without hitting these notes, we shouldn't do it. Gamers, they know better. They're not going to flock to something that's subpar, End quote. So glad they know that.
That's the like
admitting it
every
is
other
the
movie
first step.
should listen up. Yeah, every other movie tie-in game should listen up because that should be your 3 pillars.
Well, and I think it's really interesting that I think if they can find the right person to do this and put out, not even necessarily if they're games that tie into the movies, or if they're just Marvel games in general, that if you can tie in, you know, we already have the cinematic universe. If we can make something where it's the game universe and have the same phases that they've done, you'll make a lot of money there as well.
Well, yeah, just take my wallet.
Yeah, I mean, that's the sort of stuff that we, as people who enjoy video games, would eat up. Oh, it's like, oh, it's a great franchise that comes out regularly that features similar gameplay and tells interconnected stories. That's never worked before.
I mean, it's like, I don't know. It's like anything else. I mean, you put a good game out, people buy it, but then you get idiots like me that buy every licensed property game like that.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know. I just want to see those characters work.
Yeah.
Yeah. I wouldn't doubt if they just decided, we'll just throw them into a Disney Infinity pack and call it a day.
I mean, that would work too. I mean, there's how many millions of people already have Disney Infinity?
Mm-hmm.
You know?
Yeah.
That would be okay
Install
too.
base, you know?
Yeah. Next news story here. Sony came out guns blazing in the middle of last week with 12 new indie games that they are coming out with on the PS4. A lot of them are coming out on the Vita too. They showed a bunch of trailers and a bunch of stuff for great indie games like Nidhogg, Spelunky, Skulls of the Shogun, Scapegoat 2, Jamestown, and 7 other games that aren't as high profile as that. So over the next during 2014 they're coming out with 12 big name indie games, and even things like Spelunky are getting fairly big updates where it's 1080p, more social stuff, cross-buy, so if you already own it on the Vita, you already own it on the PS4, which thank you very much, Derek, you for helping us out with that. But it's kind of nice to see Sony continuing their kind of marketing push, because if everyone remembers last E3, they were like, yeah, indies, oh, look at all these cool ones that are on stage, and some of them have come out, but it's nice to see that they're continuing to announce even more ones, and the ones that they're getting are really great. Like Nidhogg would be really great to play on a PS4 with 4 controllers, or 2 controllers, it's only 2-player, but like those are the great games that they should be getting on their platform. You know, they should get Samurai Gun, you know, get those ones that would really be great, you know, the couch co-op focused ones, get them onto a console where it's more likely that people are going to have multiple controllers, rather than saying, oh, well, it's on the PC and hopefully you have a bunch of 360 controls plugged into it, right, guys? I think that's really the perfect, you know, especially with how well Towerfall Ascension did. They came out and said that the Ouya version sold 50,000 units, if I remember correctly. In the first couple weeks of the PS4 version, they sold 700,000.
Wow.
So, the PS4 is probably a pretty good place to bring out your indie game. It will do probably pretty well there. So, nice to see Sony is continuing to put their weight behind that stuff instead of being like, yeah, please buy it, because indies are hot right now, right, guys? So, and those games are really good. So,
buzzword.
Yeah, so hot right now, those indies.
That Hansel.
Yeah.
So hot right.
So this next news story is really weird. So we've reported a while ago that John Carmack left id and ZeniMax to go over to Oculus, along with seemingly half the people that used to work at id. And now ZeniMax is saying that Carmack and others improperly provided tech to Oculus. They are claiming that the work that Carmack did on Oculus stuff before he left there was not personal and not personal time, like Carmack is saying, but it's actually when he provided quote-unquote key technology to Oculus VR, he was doing so while he was working at ZeniMax. So for those of you that don't work in certain industries, a lot of times you'll have to go in, when you go in and sign a piece of paper that says, hey, you're a programmer. If you're going to make anything while you work here, it's ours.
Yeah.
And if you sign that paper, I'd like to remind you that's a contract.
Yeah.
So it sounds like the contract that Carmack signed with ZeniMax was, while you're here during business hours, the stuff that you develop is
Ours.
ZeniMax. Yeah, which, not unreasonable. And it sounds like the fight that's happening right now is Carmack is saying, no, the guy, the head of Oculus and I were working on, nights and weekends to try and improve the technology. The other Jay-Z says, that's cute. If there was key technology, Oculus already had it. And I think that's kind of what he's coming back and saying, like, look, they already figured it out. I was just helping them to make it better, to make some software, to try and smooth the edges on it. John Carmack took to Twitter and said, no work I've ever done has been patented. ZeniMax owns the code that I wrote, but they don't own VR. Oculus uses 0 lines of code that I wrote while under contract to ZeniMax.
Yep.
So I think this is really interesting that I think ZeniMax is coming out and seeming like they're kind of grasping at straws here to just say, no, I mean, let's do VR too, and all that stuff you wrote that's that hot Oculus technology, and it's like, you don't have that. This other company already had that, seemingly, and it seems like Carmack has been working with them for a while. This article says Carmack joined the company as CTO in August 2013 while working at both companies, and then resigned from id in November. And he said he left id because he couldn't work on VR stuff there. And it's like, well, I find it hard to believe that Carmack is an idiot, and I find it hard to believe that he would not share, as he's been a programmer for about 800 years, so I'm sure he knows the ins and outs of how his code is written and how his code is owned. So this seems like
the
really
word
weird
idiot
story.
and Carmack just sounds like dirty.
Yeah, that dude has made
just
basically every first-person shooter engine for about the last 25 years. So
Yeah.
I think he's got that figured out. So that seems like such a weird kind of almost desperate grab at cashing in on technology like that.
Yeah, it is very strange.
Yeah. Next news story, Xbox is saying that, and by the way, we'll probably have to start using Xbox now as Microsoft starts spinning that department out. Xbox committed to developing a 1 versus 100 style interactive game show again. This is kind of surprising because they originally, when they did 1 versus 100, it kind of ended very suddenly, and they're like, yeah, we can't make that anymore. That takes too much time and all this effort, and nobody's playing it and all that stuff. But it was a very beloved game that I really captured a lot of people.
Yeah.
A lot of people's attention. I think more people played it than I think Microsoft ever gave them credit to.
Oh yeah.
And
it seemed like it shut the doors right in the beginning of the groundswell.
Yeah, and I think we talked about it a lot on this show, and I think that was our frustration too, where it's like, come on, you guys barely did one season. You started promoting it near the end, and it really started to catch on at the end, and it was like, no, yeah, we're done with that. Thanks, though. And it's like, wait, what? How? It was like a Fox show where it's like, yeah, we got 3 episodes in, and we canceled it. It wasn't very good. It's like, wait, what?
I wonder
What
if it
happened?
had something to do with the licensing with that property. The actual name 1 versus 100.
Well, it always seemed to me like they were kind of sick of paying for the dude that did the announcing. Because they got the actual guy from the show, And it seemed like they were sick of getting him into a booth and recording all this stuff and trying to get that to work. But if you want to make a show work like that and you just want to get some person out of, you know, some voice actor that's, you know, looking to start, that'd be great.
Yeah. I'd be interested to see them team up with, because I love the You Don't Know Jack games, but do that.
Yeah.
Live.
That's what I was just about to say. Yeah.
Yeah. Just team up with Jackbox Games. They just spun off from Jellyvision.
Yep.
They do an episode. I think they're still doing an episode or two a week for the Facebook game. So
Yeah,
they've got
figured
it
it
down.
out.
Yeah.
Episode.
Yeah, I'm really surprised that they're doing this, especially since the Xbox One has really had such a lukewarm reception and lukewarm sales so far.
Yeah.
That I'm kind of surprised that this is the time where they come back. It seems like probably about a year ago would have been the time to kind of bring it back as the Xbox 360 is ramping down, and then kind of you're trying to ramp back up to the Xbox One. I think transitioning from one platform to another for some people may have you know, you might have been able to capture the crowd that didn't want to play Titanfall. And maybe say like, well, you know, we got this experience over here. You know, you got all this cool Kinect stuff.
Yeah, we're just not a shooter machine.
Yeah, except for the thing that you play Titanfall on if you don't want to play it on PC.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I think that's kind of interesting. I would really like to see them do something like that again. It seems like the wrong time, but I want them to succeed with that again. So.
For sure.
Best of luck to them. All right, we don't talk a lot about Xbox 360's games with gold deals because they're usually not very good. But both of them this month are actually really great. The one running right now, started on May 1st, Dust: An Elysian Tale, is free. The Xbox Live Arcade runs really great. That's a fantastic game. If you want to play a great Metroidvania, you really, really should play that game. It's outstanding.
Nice.
And halfway through the month, on May 16th, comes Saints Row the Third, which is such a great game, and it's even better for free. The 360 version of that game is the one I played, and it's really, really, really great. I can't recommend that game enough. And if you like that one, go play 4, because 4 is even better.
Oh man, that's so good.
Yeah, it's just oh man. Taito finally announced what their Project Z game is, and they are working with Valve to make a Left 4 Dead arcade game.
Ooh.
In this weird 1995 Bizarro world.
Yeah, right.
Nobody really knows anything about this. I really hope that it's a light gun shooter.
I was just gonna say that.
That would be the best, where you're just taking down smokers in this weird move to the next screen. Ding, ding, ding. You know, like,
press the pedal like in a Time Crisis game.
Totally. Shooting off the screen. Like,
how would you do like the clearing move? Would that be like some sort of functionality, like a button or something?
I don't know. You just take the gun butt.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, that sounds like such a weird idea for 2014 that I kind of don't understand why they would do it, but I'm curious enough that I kind of want to see whatever that is.
Yeah.
Oh man.
But that's such a weird pairing, like just Valve and Taito.
Yeah, I mean, the only thing I can think is that Taito must still be making a lot of arcade games in Japan.
Yeah, they got to be making hardware or something. Maybe like Valve like approached them for some of their wearable stuff or something,
or Valve just went out and said, "Hey, we want to make an arcade game," and Taito's like,
which is entirely possible. Yeah,
we can do that, I guess. Do you know what year it is?
Oh man, I think that'd be a lot of fun. I'm just thinking about playing something like that in Dave and Buster's.
Yeah, I'd go back to Dave and Buster's for that.
I'd like to see it on the ground at Galloping
Next,
Ghost.
you know, Taito will announce a Game and Watch game for it.
Yeah, exactly. That'd be super weird.
Left 4 Watch.
Real quick news story that I forgot that this happened, but the Epic Games is going to announce something about Unreal Tournament this week. So
What?
keep your eyes peeled. Hopefully it's
Ooh.
Unreal Tournament 2K14 and not Unreal Tournament 4. If you pick up what I'm putting down.
Oh man, that would be.
Come on. UT 2K15.
Come on, guys.
Oh god, that would be so good.
Alright, let's move on to tweets and emails here. I'm going to skip some of these other news stories because I'm tired and I just want to wrap the show up. First tweet here is from the other Jay-Z. He says,
Hey.
would you be on board for a third season of The Walking Dead? I enjoy the episodes as they come out, but I kind of feel like I'm done with them. For that reason, I haven't played any of the season 2 episodes yet. I'm kind of waiting for the whole thing to finish. I feel like I really got bitten on, haha, pun intended, on the the Wolf Among Us episodes, because I really liked the first one. It was like 3.5 months until the second one came out. And I was like, you know what?
Yeah.
And then it was like 3 weeks until the third one came out. I was like, you know what? I'm just going to wait. Each episode is like 2 hours. I can kind of poop sock my way through most of these by the time they come out. I'm just going to wait until they're done and just enjoy the whole thing all at once. Because if they could come out on the same day every month, I feel like I could set aside some time and Meg and I would sit down and say, all right, we're going to play. It's like a show. We're going to sit here and we're going to watch the next episode of Wolf Among Us. But if it's so scattershot like that, I feel like my momentum is stopped. And I think that's what'll eventually kill them. So
I have to agree. I want to play the new Walking Dead. I'm just sort of like the first one. I think all of us played it in sort of that one shot mode.
Yeah.
And that was really, really awesome. And I was able to just sort of like get through it in a couple days, I think. But like you said, with The Wolf Among Us, I've got the third episode sitting on my hard drive. I've thought about it 3 or 4 times this week, like, oh, I should go play that. But then I remember, if I play that, I play until the fourth one comes out, and who knows when that's going to be.
Yeah.
Like, they don't even have, like there was some sort of schedule, even if it wasn't, like, once a month, but if it was a set schedule to release those episodes on, I think it would go a little bit better.
Yeah.
We're human beings. We crave consistency and patterns.
Yeah.
Yes, absolutely.
And I feel like that's and I know I'm going to say a weird sentence. That's the only thing they have left to figure out, and I think they can kind of seal the entire deal on episodic games.
Absolutely.
With the understanding that is really hard. Because if it was easy, they would have already done it. It's like, yeah, this one comes out once a month on the 15th. Great. You know, and I understand making an episodic game along the way and taking in fans' feedback at every episode and all of that stuff and looking at your metrics is really tough. And if it was easy, we would have Half-Life 2 would be done. You know, like it's not an easy problem, but if they can figure that out, I feel like they can have mass market appeal, especially for like their iPad versions, their Vita versions, you know, the versions of the game on platforms that everybody has, saying the iPad, not the Vita. Sorry, Vita. We love you. But like, if you can get an episodic game like that out on the iPad, I mean, that can be incredibly successful. But, you know, imagine somebody that just picked up Wolf Among Us on iPad and just like, well, I have this thing sitting here taking up all this space, and it hasn't been updated in like 2 months. What's episode 2, great, you know, like there has to be some consistency there, and I feel like at that point then they make it really huge, especially when the Game of Thrones game comes out, because I feel like when you get a fan base that's so rabid for new content that each time a new season comes out, it shuts the internet down.
It does.
Then I think if you can get that figured out, where it's like, all right, the first of every month, you got a new Game of Thrones episode. I'll see you back in another month. What's going to happen? But it's sort of like 4 months later, episode 2, and it's like, well, I'm already done with you. I'm not buying any more of that. So
I forgot that's going to happen. I
completely
forgot they're doing a Game of Thrones game.
Yeah.
It's such a finite window that they have to launch something at peak hype that everyone will buy whether it sucks or not.
Yep. Yeah,
And it feels like every episodic game misses that window almost every time.
Yeah. Yeah, and I feel like The Walking Dead 1, it seemed like it was close. But the big problem they had there were bugs. And I feel like the Sam & Max ones did okay. I feel like everyone was fairly happy with those. But yeah, if they can sort that stuff out, whew, they can do pretty well.
Yeah, extraordinarily well.
Next one on Twitter here, we're from Oddball. If you could live your gaming life one more time, what would you change? Which games would you not play? Consoles buying? Any regrets? Hi from Ben. Hi, Ben. I don't know, man.
Yeah.
I probably would have bought a PlayStation over a Saturn.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think I would have gotten both the PlayStation 1 and the PlayStation 2 sooner in their life cycles, because I think I got the PlayStation 1 after the PlayStation 2 came out. And I didn't get a PS2 until like 05.
Yeah.
And I didn't have the exposure to certain games that I know I would have loved in their time and place, like Soul Reaver. I know I would have loved that game back then. And trying to play it like when I did was just sort of like, oh, well, it's okay.
Well, same thing. It's just mechanics have changed so much over the years and been refined. When you go back to an older title, it's like, why was this fighting me?
Yeah, it's like, why is the map not on the select button? We figured this out. It's like, oh, it's 4 years before that. You know, like...
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I definitely would have kept probably, as I feel like my PC gaming has waned significantly over the years.
Yeah.
Yeah, for me, I think the one thing I would have done earlier is get my PC hooked up to a TV with, the 360 controller because I feel like now almost every game has 360 controller support, but I feel like even a couple years ago you could have gotten away with it, even if you had like some sort of table you can put on your lap with your keyboard and mouse. There was still a way that you could have figured that out. And I feel like I've missed out on a lot of really great PC games in their heyday because I don't like sitting in chairs a lot.
I think I would have spent a lot less time playing Counter-Strike in high school and spent more time playing other games that require vast amounts of time and dedication than I think I would have gotten more out of.
Yeah.
Like, I would have played way more JRPGs had I known I would have dropped Counter-Strike like a bad habit.
Yeah.
That it was.
Yeah, that's the only thing I can think. Otherwise, I'm pretty happy with how everything went.
Oh, and the other big one, because P-Flux just mentioned, I never would have left EverQuest. I never would have started World of Warcraft.
Yeah, there you go.
I would have skipped that one.
Yeah.
Yep, I dodged that bullet.
Yeah, no kidding.
Lucky you.
But then think about how differently our opinions would be now if we hadn't had our game lineage that we did have.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah,
That's why I don't think I
Yeah.
really want to change a lot of it. I don't. I don't really regret any of the time that I spent, farming dumb stuff in Final Fantasy 12. I just there's so much of it that's so important in our sort of gaming history that I don't think I would really change. To me, there's no big stuff that I would have changed. Like Knobs's PlayStation over Saturn. I don't think spent less time with the N64. Maybe I don't know.
Yeah, but now if you would have gotten the PlayStation over to the Saturn, would you have gotten the Dreamcast, and would you have that crazy story about you saving it in a tornado?
Yeah,
I
maybe.
would have bought a Dreamcast regardless.
Yeah, Toe Jam
Fair.
Battle 3 was supposed to come out for the Dreamcast originally, so I think
yeah,
that was a big...
yeah.
I know that's why I bought a Dreamcast. Otherwise, I might not have until way later.
I bought, honestly, I think I really, because I mean, I owned every Sega system, so I probably would have bought a Saturn and a PlayStation, but
Yeah.
I was back then I was so staunchly, ridiculously loyal to my game maker.
Yeah.
I mean, and that's where, obviously, one of the funniest stories that happened in our gaming history.
Yeah.
Good stuff.
All right, moving on to emails.
Emails.
First email here is from Evan L. He says, "Hi guys, my name is Evan. I'm a
Hi.
relatively new listener and love the podcast. Thank you for listening. Tell your friends.
Thank you.
I was surprised to find out this past week you guys went to Walsh University. I am a senior at Kent State, and a friend of mine is writing his dissertation on how video games fill psychological needs for people in their everyday lives. So I have this question for you. How do you feel games have helped you in your everyday lives, and does a certain game stand out in your mind? Thanks, guys, and keep up the good work. P.S. Sorry for the long email." That email was way shorter than emails we typically get, so don't feel so bad.
Yeah.
So how have games helped you in your everyday lives? I'm
I would say, for me, is conversation over live.
yeah.
I don't know how sane I would be if I didn't have people to talk to all day.
Yeah. I'm trying to think. I don't know if there's any real direct impact where I can say, oh, because I've been playing games, I'm, you sort of assume that you're better at puzzle solving. Some of the Fez conversation we've had, but I don't know if there's any direct.
Yeah.
It's easier to work at my job because I know
It's neuroplasticity.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. That's a good question.
I would say I probably never would have learned how to code or do programming or anything if it weren't for video games, because that was like the big driver. Was, first it was like, oh yeah, I want to learn about the web, and then eventually it turned into I want to make a game, or at least try to make a game. So,
Yeah.
And I've tried on numerous occasions and learned some of the basics of how some of the baseline game programming works. And just like that sort of knowledge is really nice. I don't know if that's an everyday sort of thing, but in my normal life, I think that's helped me out. And
Yeah.
being able to sort of bring that back to the table and like looking at a game and going, oh, I think I know how they coded that. That's really clever.
Yeah.
That's really cool. I really like that. And just, I mean, there's something to be said for the little bit of stress relief you get from having success in a video game when you had a real crappy day.
Yeah, Dimebag315 said stress relief in chat, and I think for the majority of us that use video games as a hobby, I would venture to say that that's probably the primary use for the majority of us is just that healthy escape and the stress relief.
Well, it's not even the stress relief. It's the decompression.
Yeah.
It's something that occupies your mind, that you're not focused on something like, say, or coding or being on a phone or working with your hands all day.
Yeah.
Like it's something that's not inert, but it's just a way you're doing something and not sitting there doing nothing.
Yeah, and you get to use your brain in kind of a different way. Even if it's like your comfort food game and you're just turning your brain. That's why I've been playing a lot of Diablo 3 this week. I need to turn my brain off, and I can just right-click all day.
For sure.
So, that's incredibly powerful for a lot of people.
Yeah.
So, good question. I hope his dissertation goes well. That's a really neat topic, and I think we're going to see a lot more stuff pop up like that for in the next couple of years as people look at video games a little bit more critically.
Yeah.
Next email is from Dave, aka RoboPig. He has a bunch of questions here for us. He says, "Hey guys, since they found ET cartridges in that landfill, what game would you like to be buried in its place?"
Ooh.
I feel like for a lot of people, they'd probably say Too Human, but you didn't play that game anyways, so you can't say that.
Yeah.
For me, I think
Yeah.
my easy one would be Guilty Gear Asuka for the PS2.
Oh.
It's a black spot on that
Yeah.
franchise. The wrong decisions made at every turn. I would
Yeah.
like that stricken from the record.
Yeah.
I can't argue with
think I
that
agree.
at all.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
Yeah, I
can't think
thought
of anything more egregious than that.
Yeah.
Mm,
We're right there with you, Jay-Z.
for sure.
Other Jay-Z in chat says, I liked Too Human. We did too. This is like the only 4 people that like Too Human. Sure, it has problems. It was pretty fun.
I liked it. I didn't like it enough to finish it, but I did like it.
It's not nearly the unmitigated disaster that people think
No.
it is.
No, absolutely not.
Those people haven't really played it.
Yeah. Well, no, those are people that hated, or I don't know, hated something just for the sake of hating it.
Yeah.
Like it was
Yeah,
hated before it
bandwagon.
was even released.
Yeah.
Yeah, I wouldn't necessarily say so. I've always had a little bit of an issue with the voice acting in Metal Gear Solid: The Twin Snakes.
Yeah.
The redone voice acting. If I could just bury that instead.
Man, I would bury that whole game.
Really,
That thing is.
I love the
that
new
thing is a
cutscenes.
mess.
That game is fantastic, minus the voice acting. I love the over-the-top cutscenes. It's so good.
I think this is quickly turning into Silicon Knights, right, guys?
Yeah.
Except we'll keep
Eternal Darkness.
Eternal
Darkness.
Darkness. Yeah, we'll keep that one. That one's okay.
Yeah, and of course Drake of the 99 Dragons, because I'm going to bring it up forever now.
Oh,
because
I got. There's a box sitting here. Everyone can see it on the stream.
Oh man,
Got a copy.
Oh
got
boy.
a copy here. I haven't opened it up
Oh.
yet, but we'll see.
Don't let that evil out, man.
Oh, I have to add it to my collection because my collection is 2 extremes. Either these are the best games ever made, or everybody
Or the
thinks
worst.
these are terrible. Like my sealed
Yeah.
copy of Too Human and X-Men Legacy, or was Legacy Legend?
X-Men Legends.
Yeah, no, the one for 360 that got recalled.
Oh, Legacy.
Legacy. Yeah.
Whatever it's,
The game's a mess. I have it sealed.
yeah.
I have fun with it.
Oh, it's a perfect rental game,
Yeah.
but it was not the game that we wanted at all.
Yeah.
His next question is, since I have also been on a bit of an arcade kick lately, what's the worst thing you ever did to scrounge up a quarter for an arcade game?
Ooh.
I don't think I ever did. I think the worst I did was beg my parents for, please, 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 please. I only have 30 seconds.
No. Going through ashtrays in cars.
Oh.
Yeah, I probably
Yeah.
did a little bit of that.
Oh, for sure. Probably just going through the couch, digging up coins.
Yeah.
Nothing's more satisfying than dropping a smoky quarter in a machine.
Yep. Yeah, I think the only thing I did was the pleading and the begging as the time is counting down on the Simpsons arcade game. Like, please, please, please. I'm in the dream place. I'm almost done. No.
Oh, the worst was there was an arcade when I was a little kid, probably about a mile from us, and we would go up there. Me and my sister and my dad would go up there, and it would always be like, "Oh no, we died, and we have to, oh, we need more tokens, Dad. We need more tokens. He's got to go put $1, like a 5 in the machine."
in that slow
cartoonish
machine. Yeah.
Yeah,
And it
and wait
never
for
took
that.
the $1 the first 20 times you put it in there.
yeah.
Or you catch your fingers in it and smash them.
Oh, God.
Oh yeah, it's the worst.
Oh, arcades.
Yeah, they're the best.
I wouldn't trade it for the world. Yeah, like, talk about gaming regrets. I would never change any of my time in any seedy, horrible, dirty, sticky floored arcade for anything in the world.
It was totally worth
For
that
sure.
fist fight to get on that machine.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I had to fight a dude to get on the Mortal Kombat 2 machine, and then I beat that other dude.
Yeah, I saw it wasn't an arcade machine, but I remember a demo, like a stand-up cabinet demo of the Sega Genesis, way back when, and it
Oh
was
man, they
just,
had one of those at Super Kmart.
yes, and it was either at Kmart or like Kohl's or like one of those stores, and they had it, and it was right around Christmas, and that was the first time I ever played Comic Zone.
Oh, yeah. Oh, that machine, yeah. That thing
Yeah.
was great.
Yeah.
We had
Yeah.
a line of cartridges on the one side.
Oh, yeah.
hmm and I was like, "We need to get this, Mom. Can we get this?" And I think
All right,
I think
gotta
that was the year I got
regret.
that for Christmas.
I gotta regret. I had a chance to buy one of those machines and I didn't take it.
Shut up.
Yeah,
Oh,
the Super Kmart Medina had it sitting out on the side for 2 or 3 years.
Oh,
Wow.
I can't find one on eBay. Otherwise, I'd show a picture. But yeah, man. Ah, so good.
Good stuff.
And his last question is, did any of you enjoy Dungeon Defenders? It was a 360 freebie last month. My friends and I have been enjoying it for co-op. I bought that originally on the PC, I think it was, because it seemed like it would be fun. And then they came out really early on because people were like, hey, man, can we get like some AI bots to just... I don't have a bunch of people that are going to play it with me. And I felt really badly asking a bunch of people to buy a 3D fantasy-based tower defense game. And the devs were like, no, you have to find some friends. and you can't beat it one player. And I was just like, well, now, unfortunately, I'm the sucker that bought your game, but at least I'm not going to play it.
Yeah, right? That's brutal.
Yeah. Seemed fun, but I think it never got sold to us in the way that we would have ever played it together. So
Yeah.
kind of a bummer.
I don't know. No real interest in it. I think I got it for free in a Humble Bundle once and just didn't care.
Yeah, I'd rather try out something like Orcs Must Die. That seems more in my wheelhouse.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. All right, well, that's all of our emails and tweets this week. If you'd like to visit us, you can do so at tvgp.tv. Tweet us at tvgp. Email us at tvgpfans@gmail.com. And I think I'm forgetting a bunch of stuff, but it's all on the right-hand side of the page.
Hey, don't forget to join your forums. Please mark yourselves on the map. Join us for Monday Night Game Night, 10 p.m. EST. That's not an estimated time. It's Eastern Standard Time.
Yeah.
Even though it is a little lax at times. But we'll probably be playing AC2 this week.
Nice.
Just have some fun, stabbing some dudes. Join us for Thursday Night Game Night. That is on Steam. Join the community. The good group of guys.
Indeed. The current TVGP Game Club game is The Witcher, and you've heard me complain / praise it on the show here. I'm going to try and stream a bunch of it at twitch.tv/thehannah. So keep an eye. And yeah, it's a ton of fun, and it's really weird, and it's really crazy. So get on board.
All right, and don't forget you can watch this show live streamed on twitch.tv/E1M1 Network. And if the community can help me find a new home for E1M1 FM, Mixler is going to start charging, and I will not pay that much money per month for that service. It is astronomical.
Really?
So throw it in the forums under this thread if anyone has any suggestions, and we'll see you all next week.
Laters.
Peace.
Or you could just do a TVGP supercut.
Yeah, but it's more fun like, hey, I listened to Pup episode 1, hey, I listened to TVGP episode 215.
Yeah.
All that random stuff. All right,
Hey,
I only have one title,
Just
and
mix
that's
it all up.
Sam Fisher's $5 footlong.
I have one. I have
Fantastic.
episode.
Episode. Oh, I like that one. Sam Fisher's $5 footlong. That's pretty fantastic.
And it's got such good alliteration.
Oh, yeah. All right, let's see what chat has. I know they're going to start... I thought I saw a couple in there.
Yeah.
Oh, well, chat, if you've got titles, toss them out there now while I read mine very slowly.
Oh,
right.
Psycho Knights, right?
yeah.
Yeah, that was one of the ones I saw. So I have The Internet Sounds Weird, The Wobbly Pops, Face First into a Shotgun, It's Been Super Stable, Here Comes the Rain, Scooby-Doo Style, Holmes of Math, Leaked, then Teased, and then Announced, Everyone Should Have Mechs, Everything Should Have Mechs, sorry, and Everyone Should Have Mechs as well. It's a mech roguelike. Do you know what year it is? and Left for Watch.
I feel like Sam Fisher's $5 footlong is kind of the best.
It's clearly the winner.
I just like saying wobbly pops.
How could you not?
Yeah, it's pretty.
I'm going to
great.
use that term the rest of my life now.
Yeah.
All right.
Sam Fisher's $5 footlong.
Starting in 3, 2, 1. This is That Video Game Podcast, episode 341 from May 5th, 2014. Sam Fisher's $5 footlongs.
Time for a nooner.
Third eye. Special on special.
Of course, the Hannah stutters and freezes during that. Alright, thank you very much everyone for watching. We are done with the internet today because it is being the worst. Thank you very much everyone for watching. See you next week. Bye.
Internet's had some wobbly pops.